return to 80s Never End, the stories behind the great songs and videos of the 80s. For many, Video Killed the Radio Star is the first real song of the 80s. Technically it wouldn't be, having been released in September 1979. But music critics of the 80s quite agree that it is. Actually, for many reasons, a couple of which are absolutely important. First of all, despite being released 3 months ahead of 1980, this song introduces a series of electronic effects and completely innovative sounds. Of course, there had already been experiments and success in this sense. Let's think only of Kraftwerk. But there is no doubt that Trevor Horn has been able to bring these sounds into the world of pure pop. And so, in that sense, we can already consider it the first song of the 80s. Then, as you know, there is the question of when the 80s really started. And I think the real start was not really January the 1st, 1980, but it was the weekend between July and August in 1981. If in England the wedding of Prince Charles and Lady Di really opened the doors to the new decade, at midnight on August the 1st in the United States, MTV began broadcasting and could not choose a more suitable song than this. Video Killed the Radio Star was the first song ever broadcasted in MTV's life. In fact, after a long time, we might not be able to say that the video has completely obscured the radio star and the sounds of the songs, but it is certainly true that videos are as important as music and words in determining the success of a song. And this has been happening since the 80s. And the song also lived a new popularity pushed by MTV in that year. Trevor Horn was a composer and a producer at the time, but he was not yet at the peak of his success. Indeed, he was living a period of frustration, and there was a growing belief in him. He was maybe not working for the right artists, but probably for meaningless groups with rather trivial names. And so, there was growing motivation in him to write something for himself, with fellows Geoff Downes and Bruce Woolley. Trevor Horn and Geoff Downes were also performers, and they often joined other groups. In 1980, they joined Yes, and later Downes also joined Asia, who found success with Heat of the Moment. Trevor Horn had the right idea. He had been able to forecast the change that technology would soon introduce into the world of music through video, and he had fully understood the impact that this would have on people's tastes and habits. And so, not only did he write a great song, but above all, he conceived a great video, and he called a person who would really become the quintessential director of 80s video, Russell Mulcahy, the guy who would later become the director of videos like Bette Davis' Eyes, The Reflex, The Wild Boys, Greatest Song by Duran Duran, Total Eclipse of the Heart by Bonnie Tyler, A Kind of Magic by Queen, and many more. The video is beautiful and combines a funny idea of futurism with real and somewhat naive technologies of the time, giving a very retro effect, even if you see scenes from a science fiction lab. The girl who was lowered into the glass pipe was a friend of Mulcahy's. In the video, the chorus is made by the real backup singer of the song, Linda Allen Jardim and David Doss, who in the 80s also gave vocals from Krista Berg, Samantha Fox, Mike Oldfield and others. Linda Allen's voice was recognizable and still fantastic when the Buggles performed the song live after more than 20 years at the Prince's Trust concert. Video Killed the Radio Star is definitely one of the iconic songs of the 80s. If you've never felt a thrill to hear the song and watch the video, you're probably not an 80s dinosaurs. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next videos of 80s Never End, the stories behind the great songs and videos of the 80s.